Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Double honors unto the elders and the apostles that do rule well, overseeing the tabernacle of David, which are the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. And greetings and salutations unto you, Akim, upholding the testimony of Yahweh Shai in truth and in sincerity. I was watching a documentary on Justinian I, who was one of the kings of Byzantium. All right, not the Holy Roman Empire, which those were two separate, distinct empires. I say that because a lot of times I hear people talking about them as if they were one and the same. They were not the same empire. They were two different empires. That's not the point, though. Justinian I, who, if I'm not mistaken, he was one of the most wealthy of all of the emperors of the Eastern Roman Empire, one of the most prosperous, one of the most accomplished. And a large part of his accomplishment was due to Belisarius, who was his most competent and chief general. He was the Joab of David for Justinian. Let me turn this off. For Justinian. And when you saw the history on the treatment of his most competent, most loyal, faithful general, it was disheartening. And you saw that the man, though he had great success, largely due to his men, who went and reclaimed Rome in the name of Justinian, who conquered kings of the West, the Goths, so on and so forth, and it reconquered North Africa, Carthage, reconquered Sicily. It was the golden age of the Eastern Roman Empire behind Constantine or before Constantine. It's up to you to say. Point being, it was short-lived. It was short-lived, and it was transitory. Justinian died, and just a few years later after he died, almost instantly, the gains that his general had gotten were lost. And he was not. And it reminds me of the scripture where it says, the fashion of this world shall pass away. Oh yeah, it can be glamorous at appearance, and in the moment, it can bring you to amazement. But it's just for that moment, and afterward it's over. And Solomon said, vanity of vanities. That's what the preacher said. It's all vain. It is all vain. All right, our position in this society, whether we have riches or which brothers really don't have riches. We have our riches are stored in heaven. Our riches are with Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. But I'm saying you have certain individuals. You have different Israelite groups, well, a few, that have actual riches. And when I say riches, I'm using that term loosely. You have some people who are millionaires. I'm not talking about real deal, riches, having, countries and things of that nature. But they're comfortable, to say the least. It's come at a cost, and it will pass away. Belisarius, who did all that he did for his king, which was noble of him, was integral of him, but the way he was treated in return was unjust. And it made me think of Yahushua and how we have a just king, a king that is just and that will give us our due reward and recognition in due season. And not that we deserve anything, because we really don't even deserve what we're going to get, but it's the mercy and the love of Yahushua. Yahushua made us joint heirs with him. And so we're fighting for a just reward. We're not fighting to be defamed and have people speak about us in the latter portion. Really we're fighting for an eternal name. There's a lot of things we're fighting for. We're fighting for the kingdom of heaven. We're fighting for immortality. We're fighting for righteousness. We're fighting for peace. We're fighting for an eternal name that won't be blotted out, a name written in the book of life. And we're fighting for salvation. And when you saw the trials, and when you see, I'll say in that way, when you see the trials that Belisarius and many other generals and other warriors throughout time have endured, many other kings have endured for corruptible crowns and finite gain, how much more so is us in this ministry should we be fighting for an incorruptible crown and infinite gain? It really makes you consider, if you really believe that there's no question about it, we must give it all we got. If we truly believe, we must give it all that we have. Do we exercise balance? Yes. But we must give it all we have. And we can't be taken by the cares and the glamour of this world and this society, because it's going to pass away. Just like Justinian the First did. All the gains, the wealth that he had, what is it now? And he was proud and he was arrogant. And that's what happens to the proud and the arrogant. I remember reading or hearing, well, I guess you could say reading about Constantinople and the Sophia, which it was called Sophia, the cathedral. That's in Constantinople. That's in, Istanbul now. I think it's called Istanbul. I think it was the Hagia Sophia, which is, I believe in Greek, is holy wisdom, which is a beautiful well, I'll say from an architectural layout, it's a beautiful temple or cathedral. But he boasted and was proud and arrogant, speaking about how he outdid Solomon. Nigga, no, you didn't outdo Solomon. Just because you built a big building, that doesn't mean it's better than the temple, because the temple that Solomon built was created from the heavens. All right, it didn't have to be. The scripture says this world was made for many, and the world to come for few, and it wasn't infected and infested with idolatry. All right, and hypocrisy. And the crystals and the gems that was composed of, and the gold that was composed of that temple outdid what he did, outdid what Justinian did. But what? It's left to Turks now. It's left to Turkey and the Ottoman Empire. They worshipped in there. They conquered Constantinople. And so what was it for? What was the boat? Why was Earth and Ashes proud? Something that we can just meditate on and consider for ourselves. All right, I'm about to head over to camp. I'm a little late, so I'm about to jump on out. Shalom and keep the faith.